Good morning, everyone. My name is Frank and I'm your presenter of the day, and I will discuss to you about communication. With every interaction, whether active or passive, we find ourselves communicating with other people, is it? Even our silence connotes some intentions which others may interpret at their discretion. Whether by artifacts or by attendance, every human being constantly participates in the communication process. But before we start with the discussion, I will just inform you that the questions will be entertained after the presentation. Let's start. Communication. As we go through with topic and discussion, we will be able to identify what is communication, the types of communication, and the methods of communication. So what is communication? Communication is the transfer of information or data from one person to another. It's a send and receive. Someone who sent and someone received and gives feedback to the sender. That is the whole communication process. There are two types of communication. One is internal communication and other is external communication. So what is internal communication? Internal communication is the transmission of information between organization members or parts of the organization. It takes place across all levels or organization units of an organization. One best example of that is the notice board. And what about external communication? External communication is the transmission of information between a business and another person or entity in the company's external environment. One example is that a letter. There are three methods of communication. They are oral or verbal communication. Second is written communication. Third is visual communication. As we go through with the topic, we will be able to digest and identify what is oral communication and what is written communication and what is visual communication. And also, we will be able to know what are the advantages and disadvantages of each methods of communication. Let's start with oral communication. Oral communication is the process of expressing information or ideas by word or mouth. It is simply sending a verbal message. One example of the internal communication is a face-to-face meeting. For the external communication, it is by radio or telephone. And there are advantages and disadvantages of oral communication. Advantages: it's quick. Second, you will have an instant feedback. And the disadvantages are you cannot keep record. It is maybe hard to remember, indeed. So what is written communication? Written communication is the most common form of business. It involves any type of message that make use of written word. Written communication is something that keeps record. One example is a notice board or a memo. The external communication example is that a letter or email or fax. The advantages of written communications are you can keep record. You don't have to remember everything. The disadvantages of written communications are you have no instant feedback and may not be confidential. Example is a fax. Next is visual communication. The term visual presentation is used to refer to the actual presentation of information through a visible medium such as text or images, such as like this. It is actually using charts, graphs, videos, and television to give a messages internally and externally. The advantages of visual communications: it is easy to understand, shows trends and comparisons. The disadvantages are some people may not understand and it takes time to prepare. So I hope everybody now understands what is communication and able to know what are the types of communication and what are the methods of communication. So any questions? Thank you.